Hi, guys, and welcome to another episode of the DDC Podcast. Today, I have a very special podcast for you guys because I have one of my clients right here. If you're watching this video, you can see she's going to be joining us today because we're going to be talking about her success story. And I really wanted to share her transformation, her story with you guys because she's having such an amazing transformation, not just physically. If you've seen the pictures on my Instagram, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But I've seen her change in so many different ways and so many different aspects. I remember when she joined the program, she was someone completely different. And 5 months later, she's someone completely different in a good way. Like she's being more mindful with her food, something that it didn't happen before. She's someone that loves traveling. So it can be really challenging when you travel so much. But right now, she's being so mindful with her food, even when she travels. With her exercise, she's made fitness part of her lifestyle. She's no longer feeling guilty when she has that cookie or, that extra something that often we feel guilty because we feel like we shouldn't be having that. She's feeling good about herself. She's finally seeing the transformation on her body, something that it took a few months, but it happened. She's very patient. She's feeling much better just about everything. So I want her to talk about more of her success story. I'm going to be quiet now and I want to introduce you to Maureen. Thank you so much for being here. So we've been working together, for the past roughly 5 months. Yeah, it's going to be roughly 5 months. And that's what I always tell you guys. Like fitness goes beyond a pretty body and just losing that body fat. It changes you so much and it helps you to make so many things. It pushes you out of your comfort zone and it helps you with so many different things about your life overall. So tell us, how did you feel before joining our program and how was your fitness journey before you joined the program?
Firstly, hi everyone. Thank you for having me, Danny. I'm pretty excited to be able to share a bit about my story on this transformation as well. Before I joined this program, I think I've always I was already pretty consistent at going to the gym, and I was trying my best to stay healthy on going for what I thought at the time was like the smartest food options. So I always had that mindset, but sometimes I would kind of completely derail depending of whether work is being a bit crazy or my life is being crazy, or if I'm traveling, I will entirely go out of the wagon and be like just enjoying mode completely.
Mm-hmm.
I work quite often remotely, so it means that this kind of behavior happen often, and it was hard for me to track back on coming back into my routine. I would be like, okay, right, I'm back on time. I have to do this and this. I have to go to the gym, and I have to be hard on myself, and I had to stop eating all the things I love, and I would like starve myself. Even if I was still eating, I will starve myself because I used to eat so much, but then it would be a very different calorie input.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and I feel like, there was a lot of guilt, and I was just constantly hard on myself before that, I think.
Yeah. And I think guilt is very common. And I think that happens to all of us when we don't have a really good relationship with food, when we don't know too much about, nutrition, everything regarding nutrition, mindset. And when we don't have that good relationship, feeling guilty, especially when you have those quote unquote bad foods, is what happens. Or tell yourself, like, I'm going to stop eating this. I'm going to stop eating carbs. I'm going to start eating the yummy things because we assume that it's going to help us lose body fat. And again, that's because we don't have the knowledge. And that's why whenever you guys keep doing this by yourself, it's going to be a cycle that is never going to stop. And you're going to keep doing the same thing over and over again. And every single time is going to feel like a punishment because you're going to be restricting yourself so much for a very short period of time because it's not sustainable. And then you're going to feel guilty, and then you're going to gain the weight and then feel upset, feel depressed, and we don't want that. But how do you feel now, like 5 months into the program? How has this program, changed you and changed the way you think about food and fitness and just everything overall?
I feel so much better. Obviously, otherwise I would not be talking right now, but I feel like I have gained control back on so many levels, not just obviously I've lost the weight I came for, I signed up for. I think at the time I wanted obviously the big picture of, getting healthier, on knowing what I'm doing and all that. But I was kind of like looking at, I just want to lose this weight there. And then if I can have anything on top of that, that would be amazing. And then it ended up being actually just way more than just losing the weight I wanted. And I feel now that I have control of those, of the food I'm eating, on when I'm going out, what can I eat, or the idea as well of allowing myself to have this treat or this food that I really want, or not having to say no to it, but it's just about the amount of it you're having as well. And just rethinking this helps me a lot, because it was constantly like, oh my God, I can't eat. I used to watch macros and I was like, oh, I can't eat that much fat. It's too much fat. And fat is literally everywhere. So I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God, how am I going to survive if I can't eat that much fat? So it will like cut so many things I used to love.
Mhm.
It's just nice to know that now I can have those, but it's just about knowing how many times. It's not every day. It's more like, oh, sometimes I can have it, or
Mhm.
sometimes it's I have half of it, or it doesn't have to be I eat the whole packet of this thing
Yeah.
that I would like. On understanding that is really nice. And going to the gym helps me clear my mind. It clears my day. It's bring me back to why I'm trying so hard to feel good, on why I'm trying so hard to be conscious about what I'm eating, or mindful about what is happening every day. Why am I exercising? After going to the gym, I'm like, yeah, I'm ready for the rest of the day. And this is such a
Mhm.
nice feeling.
Yeah, it's such a nice feeling like once you finish your workouts. And like you said, like I think that's one of the biggest changes that I've seen in you, just being more mindful with the things that you're doing, like with your nutrition, because you're someone who's very social. You're very social. You love traveling. You love drinking your wine. You love drinking your alcohol. You love going on away on the weekends. Sometimes you go to Queenstown. Just recently, you travel for Christmas and all of that. So how do you think you manage those situations better now compared to before? Like every time you go out on the weekends or when you go away for a few weeks, well, how has that changed for you?
I totally see a big difference between before and now. Um, because I really wanted to reduce my alcohol consumption as well.
Mhm.
Uh, I'm French. Wine is part of my culture.
Yeah.
It's really hard to say no, and I don't know how to say no. So it's just about being more careful of how much I'm drinking now compared to before. And I don't need to have a whole bottle with friends. I can just have one glass, and I feel good about it. I'm still part of the conversation. I'm still capable of going outside. Now it's more like, oh, sometimes I look at there's so many options out there now for
Mm.
people who want to drink, compared to before. Like before it would be either you're having a Coke, and I don't like drinking Coke. I don't like soft drinks. So it's like, well, what else is there if it's not drinking sugar? And I don't want to drink that. And now there's so many low carbs options, sugar-free options that are really yummy, like mocktails that is not full juices, and it's just actually on. They are like options that makes you feel like you don't have to explain to your friends why you're not drinking, because it will be kind of like zero alcohol wines or zero alcohol gin tonic, but
Mhm.
it's not. There's nothing inside, but no one knows on except you, and you don't have to feel like you have to justify yourself of your actions. So going out is so much easier because of that, and it's actually like I can't really tell the difference between one of those compared to a I won't say the wine because I'm
Mhm.
still French, but at least the cocktails that are not
Yeah.
actually free, I can't see the difference. So this is amazing.
Mhm.
On I realized that during my holiday, when I went away for Christmas, I would have, it's not a cocktail every day. It's just maybe a cocktail every 2 days, or every 5 days, or
Mhm.
whatever I feel good about it. But it's just, yeah, it's nice to feel a bit more in control.
Yeah, I think control is the main thing that you have right now. And I think something that I want you guys to understand if you're listening or watching this is that when you start with your fitness journey and as when you make this part of your lifestyle and you do it in a sustainable way, you don't have to stop socializing because I feel like so many people feel that if I wanna lose weight, I need to stop socializing. I want to say no to all my friends. I want to say no to my family. I'm not going out anymore. I'm not drinking anymore. And they remove everything they go from 0 to 100. They remove everything so quick. And that's not a nice feeling, because one, you're gonna stop socializing, you're gonna stop seeing your friends and your family. Two, you're gonna feel that you're missing out so much and something that you don't have to. And then three, you're simply gonna feel upset. And don't do that to yourself. Like, if you're doing that right now, believe me, there are ways for you to learn how to have that control back, and make sure that you still go see your friends, you still go out on the weekends, you still go travel on the weekends or during the week, but you just make better choices. And like you say, there's so plenty of like better choices with like calories, with alcohol, like lower calories, lower in sugar. You can play around with so many things. Like, there's so many things now that it just shows you that if you want to do it something, you'll make it happen. You'll find a way and you will make it happen. And something else I want to share with you guys is that when I remember, Maureen, when you started with the program, it took a little bit of time for you to see the changes on your body, to see that transformation. Like, it wasn't just after 1 week, it wasn't after 1 month, not even after 2 months. Like, it took some time to see those changes. And I want you to explain a little bit more about how you felt 1 month after joining the program. And obviously you didn't see the changes. Did you feel like frustrated? Did you feel like quitting? Did you feel like, am I just wasting my time here? Like, how did you feel putting all that work with your nutrition and your fitness, but not seeing the changes in your body?
That was really hard. I think the first month, especially because I've done challenges in the past. Those 8-week challenges you see you will see the result quite fast because of it. But for when I started with this program, it was slower, and I think it's because at the beginning we were on maintenance calorie as well, and it was about understanding what I was putting in my body and why I was eating this, and why nutrition is important and it goes hand to hand with your workouts. And I could not understand that. I mean, I understood right, but in my brain I was like, I can't see the changes. There's nothing happening. I'm putting all this energy at the gym, and I'm meal prepping, and I'm trying to be good, and I can't see anything. And yeah, it was really hard. But I think I just let myself like trusting you. I think that was the main thing. And keep reminding myself it's a journey. Those things takes time. You're getting back into learning new habits, so give it the time that it needs. And that was hard because patience.
I remember.
I sent a message being like, I can't see any difference. Like, I don't understand. I'm still like feeling bloated. I see the photos and the number is just getting higher. Why am I taking weight? It's like, okay, stop looking at. I think if it was one moment where I was like, actually, stop taking your weight every day. And I think you told me that as well.
Yeah.
You were telling me that you asked me on the chat. You were like, why are you taking your photos on your weight every single day? And I was like, I don't know. I want to see.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I forgot about that. I remember, because with my clients, guys, I get them to do check-ins every single week, just once a week. But then I noticed with you, it was every single day, a new update from Maureen, weight and pictures. And I was like, why is she doing this every single day? Like, one, this is too much time that she's taking out of her day to take the pictures and weigh herself. And two, I feel like she's just being too fixated with the numbers. And that's why I asked you, like, is everything okay? Like, why are you taking the pictures daily? It's only weekly. And then you told me, oh, it's a good way for me to keep track of everything. I just want to make sure that I keep track of that. And I was like, if that makes you happy, do it. But I will suggest don't do it, because you're going to get too fixated. And every single day, from one day to another, you're not going to see any changes at all. Or even from 1 week to another, you're not going to see any changes. The reason why I do weekly, it's mainly just to keep you guys accountable, but not to see major changes. And I think, I remember, we can laugh about it now, but I remember how upset you and frustrated you were about it before. And I think that just shows you guys how you mentioned before that you were used to 8-week challenges or those 6 weeks challenges. And when you do those challenges, obviously you get the results pretty quick. You get the results, but you get it because you follow something that is very unrealistic. You follow something that is very, very strict. And that's why often, I would say 99% of the time, when people finish with those challenges, they gain that weight back on. they go back to their unhealthy habits because they don't really teach you how to eat. They just give you a meal plan, you follow the meal plan. Yes, you lose the body fat, but you're not learning anything. And that's why I'm so against challenges, so against those approaches, because they only work for a short period of time. If you started with this journey or with my program, it's always looking long term. It's always looking about sustainability. What can we do? What changes we can do now? Even though, yes, it takes longer and we are impatient, but this is going to be better for your future. And it's going to be better when you do see those changes. And after, I would say roughly 2 months, when you saw those changes, what did you think, or how do you feel when you finally saw the changes in your body?
Well, I think the first thing was, it's working.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, let's go back to the like one of the main goal at the beginning for me was like losing weight. I was like, okay, cool. It's I'm not doing anything wrong. It's all this effort is going somewhere. And then it was like kind of, I feel actually good about myself. And I knew I've always loved going to the gym, and I always knew the benefit of it, but I kind of lost a bit track of it on that consistency, on bringing that back into my life. Even if I knew it was something that was helping me, I was not doing it anymore. Having that back helped me just being more concentrated about at work, on having a routine, knowing what I'm gonna eat during the day, help me not going crazy about all the intakes, the extra little intakes, or being able to say no to like free food at work, because I know I have something I'm eating, and I know I'm going to be full, and I know there's no point going outside of it. And sometimes also like being able to say no to things makes me feel good. I'm like, you did this,
Yeah.
you're strong. You have like the mental. You're strong physically, but you're also strong mentally, and I like that feeling.
Yeah.
So like I think for me, it makes me feel like I can do anything I put my mind to. So I keep feeling like this. So I want to keep having that consistency in my life on mindfulness. And it doesn't have to be constantly strict. There is definitely days that I was maybe a bit harder than others, but it's not one day that's going to make a difference. If one day I'm like, and I just don't want to do it today, and I want to have this croissant or whatever, well, it's okay. I can have that. It's fine. It's you have to think about the bigger picture. On one day in your week where you kind of went off track is not gonna destroy all the amazing effort I've been putting into. And I think that's also something you teach us a lot, and it's something I really value in this program, is understanding that when you go off track, it's okay. You're not destroying everything. You're still capable of doing all the right decisions. And that's like, sometimes you have your week or you're falling really well, and then you have your weekend and you do like, you go nuts. And then you're like, oh, damn it, I feel bad about myself. I need to go back on eating well. And then you're doing that amazing thing for 5 days, and it's over and over and over cycle. And it's just so exhausting.
Yeah, because it's a cycle, and it's a cycle that never ends. But I think, yeah, something that I always tell you guys, it's okay if the weekend or if yesterday was not the best, what's done is done. Like, there's literally nothing you can change about it. The only thing you can do from yesterday or about yesterday is just reflecting on the day, reflecting on what happened, and learn and understand what choices or what decisions going to make better next time. So if it happens again, how can I control the situation better? Or how can I control my choices better? And that's something that, yeah, you guys learn in the program. And I think it helps you so much with everything. And even just hearing you talking now, I wish we did an interview before you joined the program and then one now, because it will be like two different persons right now talking to me. And something else that I want to ask you is, do you think, like, after that first month that you didn't see the changes in your body, if you were not working with me or with a coach, do you think it would have been much easier for you to give up and just stop with your journey because you were not seeing the changes that you wanted to see?
Oh, yes. I think there's many times during those 5 months where I would have quit by myself. Like, just even thinking about, oh, I have this party, or oh, I have all of those different weekends coming up that are planned where it's going to be social events where I can potentially be off track. And I would have seen that and be like, well, then I'm not going to start. There's no point because I'm already losing. I'm already like failing before even starting. So there's no point doing it. But it's such a bad habit because your life is never going to stop for you to weight loss or for you to feel good about yourself. So you have to take action every single day to get there and learn how to, like, yeah, be more careful, or not careful, because I don't feel like I'm being careful now, but just being more attentive to what your body needs and what your mind needs. Is no point waiting. And I spend my time telling that to my friends as well. Like, I try my best to explain, because like everyone asks me, oh, you lost a lot of weight, or you've been so consistent, or Maureen is on a diet. I'm like, I'm not on a diet. Like, I am on, there was moments where I was on deficit calorie, but it's not a diet. I'm still being like, I'm still eating, and I'm still drinking, and I'm still doing that, and I'm still having cookies if I want to. It's just another way of approaching your constant food on this just nutrition. And I'm trying to tell that to my friends. And when I mentioned that, yeah, one of my friends was like, oh my god, I need to try this. And I was like, yes, it will help you because you're going through a hard time. So it will help you have, that stability in your life that you need to be able to focus on what is, like, what might be important for you. And if you have that stability, then you don't have to think about it. I don't have to think about the gym. I don't have to think about food. I know.
Yeah.
It's quite cool.
Yeah. You mentioned two really great points. Number one is stability. And the second one is that you cannot put your life on hold if you want to lose weight. Like, your life is going to continue. You still have to show up at work every single day, Monday to Friday. You still have to show up for your friends, for your family on the weekends. You still have to show up for yourself and do the things that you have to do. Get your groceries, get your shopping done, all those things. Nothing's going to stop. Your life is going to keep going. So if you're waiting for that perfect moment, that's just never going to happen. And I know it's easier said than done, but it's literally never going to happen. Like, people always tell me, I've got too many weddings coming up, I'll get it done, or I'll start with my journey after the weddings, or I've got trips coming up, I'll start after my trips. But it's like, okay, you can do that if you want, but you're always going to have weddings in the future. You're always going to have trips in the future. So what better moment to do it now, so you can learn while you are away on those trips, while you are enjoying that wedding on the weekend, because that's going to be the best way for you to learn while you're doing that thing, while you're practicing that thing. And also something with you, I know with your work, they give you so much food. Like, there's always something going on. There's like a lunch, or they bring food for like breakfast, lunch, and something like that. And I remember at the beginning when you joined the program, that's something that we used to discuss. You would tell me, hey, Danny, this week's going to be very busy. I'm going to have this on Monday, this on Tuesday, blah, blah. And we will plan ahead. Like, we will literally organize, okay, Monday, I'll suggest you have this from the menu. Tuesday, I'll suggest you have this, blah, blah. Wednesday, I'll suggest you have that. And I think planning ahead, it makes a huge difference. And it helps you to maybe control that anxiety with food a little bit better. Because if you're only deciding on the day, you're going to feel like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to eat. And then you're going to pick something else. And then you're going to feel guilty. And then it's going to be the same cycle. But do you think that helped you, like planning ahead, your whole week, or just for the weekend, planning ahead and knowing exactly, I'm going to go to this place, I already know what's the menu, I'm going to have this, enjoy, and then next day back on track with everything? Was that something helpful for you?
That was definitely helpful. Like, I remember that anxiety very vividly.
Yeah.
I felt really annoyed because I was like very grateful for work to be promoting all of those social times and having all of those food there for us. But at the same time, I was like, why do they keep feeding us? Like, I feel like I'm just taking weight because of work. But being able to talk about it and be like, and also understanding, sometimes I thought, oh, this would be a good option, right? Like, it sounds healthy. It's a breakfast. It's best on you explain to me, oh yes, but it also has a lot of like unnecessary calorie, or it will have like a syrup that you don't really know how much sugar it is or processed it is. And I'm like, oh yeah, okay, that's a fair point. So like, it also made me understand which food I could choose from those options as well. And sometimes the one that I thought would be the less calorie, might not be the one that would feel me the most as well. And that was like a good learning for me. But it's cool because like yesterday we actually they told us tomorrow there would be breakfast. And this morning yesterday I checked the menu of what would be on the breakfast, and I was like, oh, it's actually only like very processed food, on very fatty food, on nothing that I'm gonna feel fueled, and I'm just gonna be really hungry in 1 hour after that. And I was like, you know what? I'm just not gonna have any of that. It's just not worth it. And I'm gonna go down and get a coffee, get my breakfast with me, and I ate there with my coworkers, and it was so much nicer because then I was full and I really liked my breakfast, and I was like, oh, I feel way more better than eating this really fatty sausage or whatever it was.
Yeah, and I think like that's the main difference between investing in yourself, investing in a coach, and just following a meal plan and a training program. Because when you just follow something, you just follow something and you don't learn anything. But when you're working with a coach and they actually give you coaching, and that's why you invest in that, you learn things. And you learn, like, right now, you don't ask me anymore because you know you can do it, because you know you have that control. Obviously, I know you're gonna reach out to me anytime, but I think like you're just getting better at making those decisions, knowing exactly, okay, from the menu, I want to have this, or maybe not this option, maybe add this, maybe remove that, blah, blah. But it's something that you learn in my program. And it's something that you learn because there's something that I want you guys to take away with you, take all those tools and be able to apply that on an everyday basis, weekly basis, on the weekends, every single day, because we do the work every single day, not just when we feel motivated, not just when we have that energy. Yeah, I want to get it done. We need to get it done every single day. But also not every single day we're gonna be able to give 100%, and that's okay. As long as we give something, giving 50% or 20%, it's much, much better than giving your 0%. So we always try to focus on consistency rather than perfection. And what part has my program or my coaching played in your success?
You're always present. Like every time I have a question, you're always there to help on listen. And I think like the way you approach it, it made me feel like I was not doing something wrong. Like sometimes, I remember a previous challenge that I've done where I will so want to be able to drink alcohol that I will like remove a lot of my food intake on the rest so that I had enough calorie for the alcohol. Young me, bad idea. And I remember my coach at the time, like literally like yelling at me because I was doing this and not really explaining me why I was doing something wrong or why it was not a good like thing for like or sustainable in the future. And you never made me feel bad if I was going outside of the track. You would be like, okay, you needed this, like it's okay, let's move on now. What do we want to do? And let's talk about it, or let's talk about what happened and why you ate this and why you choose this option. And it was always reassuring because I didn't feel guilty, neither annoyed, or I felt like I could trust you on being honest with you, and that was really awesome. So that definitely helped. And every time I had like on the different options of food that you gave us, it's so wide. There's so many options. There's so many menus on things I like or not. And I can say, I don't like this. I don't want this. Or, and that's awesome to be able to swap things on being like, oh, I actually, like even the fact that I didn't want the shakes this week, and I told you when I saw what it was, and I was like, oh, I can replace this by that. Oh, cool. Like having that understanding of like all the options I actually have. It's not a set menu, like you said, it's just like it's normal food that you have every day. And you can it means that when I go on a holiday or I'm somewhere where I don't have the brand that I need or the food that I'm used to, I can still understand what I need because I've tried so many other options of so many other swappings from this program that I feel confident enough in my decisions. And that was super helpful. Or like the week I was in Queenstown and I was with one of my friends that was vegetarian, and I was like, can we swap just this week for like veggie options as well, so that I'm mindful towards my the person I was with. And you are like so open-minded, and it's just really great. I've been feeling very supported on with so many options, and never felt like I don't like eating the same food every day. I get bored, so I
Mhm.
felt like I had heaps of different options, and I was excited every time we would have a new menu. I'd be like, "Ooh, what is it gonna be this time?" So you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm happy that you feel that way. And I think like having that trust with your coach and that good relationship, it makes a huge difference because if you don't trust your coach, how can you work with that person? How can you communicate with that person? Because if there's no trust, there's gonna be zero to little communication and it's gonna make your journey much, much challenging. And something quickly I forgot to ask you before, when you went away recently for Christmas, you didn't have access to a gym for a few weeks. And I know that you were feeling a little bit like, am I gonna go back to square one for not training? But do you think like has your mind changed? Has your mindset changed about that? Like being off the gym for let's say 1 week or changing the gym for going for walks? Is it something that you've realized now? Taking 1 week off or taking 2 weeks off from the gym is not really gonna affect my progress too much.
Yeah, I missed it because
Mm-hmm.
it was part of my routine. So I was like so happy to be able to go back to the gym once I was back. But spending 2 weeks without it was so fine because I'm a very adventurous person. I like to do a lot of things. So um, you don't do a training, but you might go do a walk, or you might go surfing, or I don't know what else you want to be able to do, but there's so many options during the holiday that you end up still moving your body and working out, and um, it's not gonna have a massive impact. You're still engaging your muscles
Mm-hmm.
so, and feeling good about it. So I felt okay. And I did also ask you for like a workout that was not resistance workouts using all the machines. So it was body workout, and I'd done it, not every single time, but I've done it. And when I was doing it, I felt good about it because I was like, yeah, you know, like I'm strong. I can do this. I have a mindset for it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I felt good about it. Yeah, I think it was the right balance, but I didn't feel coming back home like if I had lost everything. I didn't feel like my abs were not here anymore. I didn't feel like I taken weight. I actually did not even took weight, which was amazing. I saw that. I was like, yay!
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I think like this is just a reminder for you guys, like taking 1 week off because you go away somewhere, or even 2 weeks, 3 weeks, it's not really gonna take you back to square one, but only if you have worked on your habits and you have built a good relationship with food. Because if you haven't done the work, when you go away, you're gonna go crazy because you're gonna feel like this is my time to enjoy everything. And when you come back, you're gonna gain weight because you didn't have that foundation. But if you have that foundation, and that's exactly what we did with you, Maureen. We built that foundation. That's why it was much, much easier for you when you went away for holidays over Christmas for almost 1 month or a little bit more. You stay on track. You still looked amazing even during your holidays. And now you're coming back on your routine like if nothing happened. And that's because this is part of your lifestyle. And what would you say to someone sitting on the fence of joining my program?
I would ask them what they want, why they are doing this, trying to understand whether it's just a quick fix that they need, or if it's something where they are gonna have it will help them throughout their life.
Mm-hmm.
And if depending on the answer, obviously, like I would say, I think you're looking for something that is sustainable. So I think you just have to put the effort into it. And if you're willing to, I don't know, pay the gym and go every week, you're at the same level willing to put extra help to just understand how you can keep, be mindful and understand what your body needs, what you're putting in and out. And I think it's not something you ever gonna regret. So yeah, I think, yeah, like it's something that helps you like throughout your whole life on good or bad moments, and it's not just about losing weight at a very specific time. It is, but not only. So you're learning way more and you're gaining way more than I even thought I would when I signed up. So
Yeah, thank you for that. I'm happy that you feel that way. And you made a really good point. Like, it helps you so much with everything. So if you want sustainability, guys, you know who to reach out. But thank you so much, Maureen, for being here. I really do appreciate it. You're taking your time of your day after work to be here to share your story with us. But before we go, is there anything else you want to mention?
no, just thank you, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's nice because you don't feel like just a coach. You're very like in my life, and it's just nice to chat constantly. And so I really appreciate all the work that you've put into this, and that you've helped me and the support. And I think you're a really amazing person, and I can see
Mhm.
you're passionate about your work and the people. So yes, thank you.
Thank you. You're gonna make me cry now. But yeah, I am very passionate. I love this. Like, this is my thing. This is what I love to do. But thank you once again for being here. I hope you guys got a lot of value from this. I hope you can take away this message that we're giving you, and I hope that you stop waiting for the perfect moment and you take action right now, because remember, that perfect moment, it's literally never gonna come. It's now or never. If you want it to be now, it's that right now. Don't wait for tomorrow. Don't wait until you get the nice shoes or the nice clothes or you join that gym. You can literally start right now. If you like this episode, please share it on your social media and tag me at Daniela Del Carpio. Until next time, and as I always say, don't ever stop believing in yourself. Ciao.